Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Tank Talks Movies. And today I have a guest.
Uh, you do? Who?
My bike.
Oh, welcome to the show, dude. So nice to have you. Hi, I'm ProtoMet.
Yes. Yes, my co-host from Gamazon is here today because we liked Ninja Turtles as a kid, and who the hell didn't, honestly?
Kids who didn't like Ninja Turtles as a kid.
Kids that like Power Rangers.
Well, I liked Power Rangers, but I also like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Although admittedly Power Rangers came out just as Ninja Turtles was tagging, so...
Yeah, so, yeah. Those last final seasons.
Yeah, but that's not what we're here to talk about today.
No, that would be the podcast would be way longer.
Yeah.
We're talking about the 1990 movie.
I believe so. Those were the dates I was seeing in the credits.
Okay. Yeah, so the very first live action movies. Don't get me confused with the Michael Bay ones. No. Those are CGI, by the way.
Well, live action and CGI.
Yes. So, the movie pretty much starts out with thievery.
No, not thievery. Please don't tell me there's also rapscallions doing it.
Yes.
I told you not to tell me.
Now you tell me.
Yes, thievery, rapscallions, thieves, hoodlums,
Hoodwinks.
ninjas.
Yes. In training.
Yes.
So, pretty much
Crime wave, New York. So it was just, 80s,
any day in New York.
well, 80s New York.
Yes. So, then we get introduced to April O'Neil. She's just got done doing.
A report on the fact that there's a lot of thievery and theft going on around town.
Yes. And she just leaves the news studio and gets startled by a rat. But she catches hoodwinks, stealing stuff off their, news van.
I think it's actually just her van.
Her van? And then,
Then the lights go out because somebody threw a goddamn sign at the lights. I was like, come on.
honestly, that is very dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it. Not at all.
But then the lights go out, and when they finally come back on, the hoodlums are all tied up, and
Yes.
April is fine. And the cops show up,
Yes.
but April notices that there is a sign nearby.
So she grabs it, and there's a figure
In the sewers, peeking out.
and he says, "Damn." Whispers it. And then, they go down into we see turtles.
They're turtles.
Turtles, yep.
It's like humanoid turtles.
Yes.
And what the fuck?
Yes.
It's what I would be saying if I hadn't watched the cartoon.
Exactly. Just so they're going through the sewer, saying just they're kids pretty much. They're
Teenagers.
teenagers. So they're saying gnarly and things that teenagers would say, I guess, back in the 80s. And then they enter their home of the sewer where their leader and father figure, a rat named Splinter, is
portrayed by a puppet in this movie.
yes. Very, very good puppet.
I think it's okay.
Nice
I
look.
think the costumes for the turtles are pretty good, though.
Oh,
Even by
yes.
today's standards.
Oh yes, very.
Not perfect, but I feel they still hold up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, probably not structurally. They're probably
Oh yeah, they're.
rotted and all that. But to be fair, this movie came out in 90. So
Yeah. 1990.
30 years since. It's been 30 years since then. Wow.
We're old.
Wow. We are old.
Sadness, depression. No, our youth is gone.
I was like 4 or 5 when this movie came out. God.
Yeah, probably around me, same year.
I just had that dawning realization just now.
It's like, oh.
Excuse me while I go have an existential crisis.
Okay, now that's passed. Splinter ends up talking to them, telling them that they need to, like, well, meditate, and at the same time, oh wait, no, Splinter's telling them like a story of some sort, and Michelangelo is just trying to order a pizza, telling the guy on the phone, you know, just saying all the different toppings. If you put anchovies on this pizza, we're
Gonna be upset.
upset. But I believe in the cartoon, all the strange pizzas they've had, like, you know, I think a few of them had like anchovies.
I'm just remembering the crossover comic with Power Rangers that came out, I think, last year or the year before, where I think Zach tries some of those strange toppings. He likes them.
Well, you know, I don't think I would. I'd give it a.
I would.
I'd give it a try, but I don't think. But marshmallows on a pizza?
I know, right?
Okay, so Splinter ends up throwing a book at Michelangelo to finally get his attention and also hang up the phone and place the actual order. And then he tells them we should meditate and think of this day or something. And then they just start dancing.
I guess that's their way of meditating.
Yep.
But Raph is upset
Because he lost
his side. So he ends up leaving. Go do some other stuff.
He goes, well, yeah, he goes to a movie. Critters. Classic little horror film there.
He didn't think so.
No. Ugh. Where do they come up with this stuff?
But it is there that he encounters hoodlums.
Stealing.
Hoodlums!
They end up stealing a lady's purse. And then quickly knocks him over and he just chucks the purse back to the old lady. And then he shows him, like nowadays people be showing guns just to see, but it was like a sigh. Yeah, his sigh, and they just run.
Yeah, but they get accosted by the dude wearing a hockey mask.
Jason Voorhees?
No, this guy's got a baseball bat, not a machete.
Oh.
Casey Jones. I think I prefer the comic version of this scene.
Yeah.
Because it at least has the lead in of Casey Jones actually being kind of a nutcase. With him watching TV thinking that he could become a vigilante and then just going out and doing it.
Yep, he just...
But yes, this is probably a good time to mention that this movie is not actually based on the cartoon that was popular, but rather the original comics by Mirage.
Yes.
It's been layered.
ProtoMet is swatting at a fly.
Yes, so there are quite a few parts of this movie that are derived from the comics rather than the cartoon.
Yes.
I mean, April being a news reporter is one holdover from the cartoons, I will admit that.
But she does not have a yellow jumpsuit. She just has a yellow
rain jacket.
And rain jackets are usually yellow for some reason.
Yeah.
And so the Raphael stops Casey from humbling the crooks.
He was going to go a little too far.
Yep.
So then he and Casey get into a fight.
And Casey just doesn't, after knocking Raphael's hat off, doesn't even really think that he's it's a turtle, for Christ's sake. What do you, he just
But he has a slow dawning realization. This is not a human I'm fighting.
no.
What the hell?
It's just like, huh. I mean, okay. You have a Jose Canseco bat?
Please tell me you didn't pay money for that.
Jose Canseco was a baseball player back in the day, and I don't know I don't know if he was good or not.
I don't know if that was a jab at him being from like a rival. I don't know which team Jose Canseco was for.
Neither do I. We not sport people.
No. Now, if my brother Barry, I guess, were here, he would know.
Why? Why did he change his name? Now your podcast is all fucked up.
I don't know. Also, your words, not mine.
I know. It's all joking. Proto Barry talks. Doesn't have the good enough ring. Okay. All right. So Casey Jones pretty much gets the upper hand on Raphael.
Raphael nearly gets hit by a cab.
Oh yeah. But his ninja skills was able to just have him slide over.
Tuck and roll.
Yep. Kind of. What the heck was that? It looked like some type of a big turtle. You're still going to wherever, right? So they just... Raphael returns home, and Splinter is waiting for him.
We also get a nice scene of Donnie and Mikey waiting in the sewers for the pizza to arrive.
Oh, yes.
And the Domino's guy is confused because he's got the address, and it's like such and such and 1/8, and he can't find that until
Yeah.
until he hears a voice from the sewers.
So, I'm curious if they do this all the time. So they have to pay less,
Right, it's like 30 minutes or less.
Yes. I don't think that is around anymore.
Yeah, from what I understand, they got rid of that because it was a bit of a hazard for their drivers.
Mm-hmm. Trying to get there in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So...
But yeah, Mikey tells him, hey, just slide it on down here through this sewer grate.
Mm-hmm. Setting its...
Pizza guy's upset that he's not getting paid full, but as Mikey says...
Wise men say, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. Good words to live by. Then, during that time, how they cut the pizza is they throw it up in the air and Leonardo just cuts it into the pieces with his katanas, and aren't the pizzas already cut?
Generally, I guess.
Maybe not this time.
I mean, for the purposes of having a kind of cool scene.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yep. But Splinter's slice ends up landing on his head.
Cheese down, which is...
It's like, kids. Then...
Raph finally arrives back home in the sewers.
Yep. And then him and Splinter have a talk. Well, pretty much Splinter telling him, you're angry, like, trying...
Cut back to April.
Yep.
Who is talking with her boss, Charles Pennington. Chuck. Not Burton Thompson from the cartoon, or Baxter Stockman from the comics.
Baxter.
Baxter's not even in this movie.
No.
Yeah, most of the characters you might be familiar with from the cartoon are just not in this movie. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Again, it's based on the comic rather than the cartoon.
It's a little more languagey.
But basically, Charles is telling April that he's worried because she's his top anchor, and she just got mugged.
Yes.
And She doesn't want her to get involved with
the Foot Clan or the police.
This hoodlum business involving some group called the Foot Clan, apparently, that she's been investigating.
And she...
It's during this point that Chuck's
son
Danny
Danny
decides to swipe a 50 from April's wallet while nobody's looking.
Thievery.
Yeah, he was spotted earlier with some other thugs, so we kind of know that he's not in a good way right now.
No.
He's running with a bad crowd.
Yes.
Which, as it turns out, have this kind of awesome, like, warehouse amusement park shit going on.
There's skate park, arcade,
everybody's
fight club.
They have a narc arcade machine, which, you know...
it's narc.
It's ironic, given that they're smoking.
Yep, just like... Funny, just... Probably 15 or 12-year-olds just smoking huge cigars. A bunch of young. There's some really young ones, and then there's like
the kids are being led by this one guy who I swear I recognize him from something, but I don't know what.
It's definitely not from the comics or the TV cartoon series.
Yeah, he just I don't even know if the character has a name. He's just some dude.
Yep.
But all of them report to two specific characters. One, a tough-looking Japanese dude by the name of Tatsu.
Mm-hmm.
And his boss, Shredder.
Rokusaki.
Shh. It's a spoiler for later in the movie. We're not supposed to know that yet.
Damn, you're right. So, everyone's like walking around playing video games.
But then they all get called to an assembly where a new member of the Foot Ninjas is being masked.
Yes.
And as part of his initiation, Shredder gives this whole speech about how they're now all family.
Mm-hmm.
How they're like all outcasts and all that shit.
Yeah.
Really telling these kids what they want to hear, so that he can manipulate them.
Yes.
Classic cult stuff.
Oh yeah, pretty much. I believe at this point, I believe that April is getting interviewed by another anchor.
Yeah, so at one point she was having an interview with the chief of police, who gets really upset when on the air she basically questions him about whether or not he's actually doing his job properly or not.
Yeah,
And I think there's kind of an underlying tone that he's not a great cop, or he's slightly incompetent. He's either being paid off or he's just not competent.
I don't think he's competent. He could be being paid off. Shredder probably does have money.
But April is a dogged reporter who is determined to get the
scoop.
Get the scoops and reveal the truth. And Danny gets arrested.
Yep.
Which then results in the chief of police, Chief Stearns, I think.
I think so.
Giving Chuck a call, which is basically using Danny as a bargaining chip to try and get Chuck to get April to stop reporting on this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Then
it doesn't quite go that well, because she's still.
Oh yeah, she likes to get into shit.
But the chief of police is not her only concern, as so do the Foot Clan want her to shut up.
Yes. Yes.
As under Shredder's orders, so they try to mug her in the subway.
So then Raphael, one of the Foot members tell her to shut it by slapping her. She pulls out Raphael's sai, trying to defend herself, but
then Raphael shows up to save her and absconds with her into the sewer while she's unconscious, which is, totally cool.
Hey,
Kidnapping's wrong.
He's 16. He doesn't know better.
But anyway, he admittedly was doing it to try and get her away from the defeated Foot Clan,
yeah,
who managed to tail them anyway.
Mm-hmm. They are also being trained in ninjutsu.
So April wakes up in the sewer layer of the turtles, and Splinter explains the whole situation. And we get
Before that, she freaks the fuck out.
as you do.
I would too if I didn't know about these bipedal turtles and this bipedal rat.
But Splinter calms her down and explains the whole situation of why they even exist, which good puppetry, I gotta admit.
Yep.
It's a nice scene. So the turtles take April back to her place. And they have pizza.
Yes.
It's fun.
Yes.
Then they have
Michelangelo is trying to do impressions, so making April laugh and the other guys laugh. Well, besides Raphael, who's
just a grumpy grump.
yep, he's grumpy from.
Admittedly, that lines up with the comic.
Yep. So they end up having to leave because Splinter seems to get worried when they're gone a long time. So then they get back to their lair and they realize Splinter is gone.
Yeah, the whole place has been ransacked. Splinter's gone. They don't know what to do, so
They go back to April.
explain the situation. This is similar to the comics, although in the comics they go to April's place because the lair got attacked by Baxter Stockman's mousers.
Yeah, that's a
So they return to April's place with an injured but still alive and accounted for Splinter, but that's in the comics. And
yes.
I'm just drawing comparisons between the movie and the comics.
Yep. Sorry. Hello? Yeah, I can. Okay. Alright, see ya. Apologies. So, they end up going to well, they stay at April's for a while, and
That's when Chuck shows up again.
yep,
This time to kind of try and convince April to not get any more involved because he's got the chief of police breathing down his neck.
yeah,
It's dangerous, but she is determined to keep going.
yes. And the funny thing is, when they show up,
the turtles got vanished.
yeah, they gotta vanish, and they like, can you guys please hide? Turns around, they're all gone.
Unfortunately, Danny catches a glimpse of one of them hiding under the table. Although Mikey manages to disappear immediately after that. So, admittedly, it makes Danny wonder if he was seeing things or not.
Yeah, and they hide, and what's her boss's name again? Chuck is like just worried about her and stuff like that. And the funniest thing, I think it might be Donatello that's in the shower.
Yes.
And he opens up the thing because he asked for a towel.
Then starts freaking out. It's like, oh wait, no, I'll get it. But then Donnie's
just hanging to the
out of view.
Yep. Just funny. Just.
It's a funny scene.
Yep. So pretty much, April asked Danny, "Does your dad ever calm down?" Or he's like, "Huh, I wish."
But then Chuck and Danny leave. And
Yep.
on the way away back home, I guess the two get into a bit of a fight. Danny did get picked up by the police. And one of the conditions for his release was to get April off the police's case.
Yeah.
Danny lashes out and runs down the street after getting out of the car.
He's like, he could have at least closed the door.
Could have, but he's too mad.
Mhm.
Too mad.
Yeah.
Teen angst.
I'm a teenager. I do what I want.
I do what I want.
So pretty much, Danny goes back to the really cool arcade skate park.
The foot gang, let's
Yep.
call it.
Yep.
April gets interviewed on TV, asking for asking the public for more details about the situation that's going on.
Yeah.
As a compilation, Chuck gets a call from Chief Stern.
Oh yeah. I thought we had a deal.
But then we get back to the foot den, where Shredder has revealed their new captive, Splinter.
Mm-hmm.
And basically calls the turtles freaks and monsters and
Turtles. He called them what they actually.
basically telling his foot clan to be on the lookout for them so that they can eliminate these creatures, these unnatural creatures that don't belong, which is kind of ironic since Shredder's whole deal is that all the kids that he's looped into them feel like they've been alienated.
Yeah.
That they don't belong, so.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
And then Danny comes forward with information.
He was like, "You little asshole, keep quiet." But he wanted to talk to the head guy, so.
Well, back at April's place, Leo and Raph get into an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Raph storms off to the roof, to vent.
Yes.
And he gets spotted by Casey Jones, who also happens to be like on a roof nearby.
As you do, you know.
April comes home, starts showing the turtles around the antique shop that she lives above.
Yes.
But unbeknownst to Raph,
Foot Ninja.
we get a whole fight between them that is interspersed with April and the other turtles just kind of having fun down in the antique shop.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then they go back to April's apartment and kind of wonder, it's like, oh, Raph's been up there a bit pretty long. Oh,
don't worry. He does it all the time. He needs the vent.
I'm sure he'll be back sooner than later. Crash through the skylight.
Yep.
Straight from the comics. Love it.
Oh yeah, he is messed up.
And the Foot are not backing down.
Nope.
Get into a huge fight in April's apartment / antique shop.
Yep. And the
Tatsu shows up
Tatsu with more Foot Ninja, and there's just one lone Foot Ninja just carrying a bunch of axes. He's like
the Axeman. He's coming with the axes. It's like the Bat Boy, the Axe Boy.
I like that. That was funny.
So things are not going well for the turtles.
No.
They are down a turtle, and Casey shows up to help.
Yeah, and Casey helps the situation a little bit, but the turtles decide they need to retreat because now the fire has been started and everything's going awry.
Casey fights off the Foot so that the turtles can make their getaway.
Mm-hmm.
And while this is going on, he overhears a message on April's answering machine from her boss telling her that she's just now been fired. Oof. But the turtles, April and Casey, manage to get away as sirens blare in the background, coming to
pretty much put out the fire. Yep. As
the Foot Clan make
ninja vanish, etc.
Tatsu.
Yes, and they're driving away, and apparently she goes back to her family home out on this farm.
Down the countryside.
Yep.
It's like dense foliage and shit. Apparently she hasn't even been there in years. The place is practically abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
But they need a place to
crash.
basically to try and collect their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Hope that Raph makes a recovery.
Yes.
Just come down off of this.
Like they need time to cope with everything what happened.
And process and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It was their first official loss, apparently.
Yep. And it was a huge one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so they... Oh.
April just kind of keeps a diary of what everybody's been doing. Donnie and Casey are working on this old pickup truck that's been left at the place.
Yes,
trying to get that to work.
Because April's van shit the bed.
Leo is keeping a constant vigil over the comatose Raph.
Yep.
Till he finally recovers. Mike does stuff.
Yeah, well, Mikey's just being Mikey. He doesn't really understand what's going on. He knows what they kind of took an ass whooping.
She also includes sketches of
The turtles.
They're just sketches, and they become a plot point a little later.
Yeah. They definitely fight, or they decide to train after Raphael kind of wakes up.
Yeah. Do some training, do some meditation, get in touch with the spiritual side, have a chat with Splinter's spirit.
Yep.
Meanwhile, back at the foot place, Danny is starting to feel a bit bad about what he's done. And he and Splinter actually get to talking. Splinter has now finally spoken up.
He's like,
although just to Danny and not to his captors.
Well, you can talk.
And this kind of convinces Danny that maybe he's not doing what he should be doing.
Yeah.
So he kind of runs away from the place he ran away to.
Yeah. He's a runner.
Yeah. But the Turtles finally determined that it's time for them to go back to
Yep.
New York. And I haven't read that far in the comics, so I can't make the comparisons. The fight in the antique shop, that's a good part in the comic. I like that fight in the comics.
Yeah, it's really interesting because the turtles just get whooped.
Oh yeah. It's portrayed fantastically in this movie.
They go back to the den, and then they pretty much
they find Danny down there.
Yep.
I like when they arrive. Casey's like, "Oh, this is a nice building. All right, everybody into the sewers."
Huh?
Ah, shit.
Why don't I know people that own condos? Yeah, well, because the people that own condos would probably be terrified of you.
Fair point.
And he he's claustrophobic.
Although when he gets called out on it, he mistakes it for a different kind of phobia, but
Homophobia. And
which he also then misconstrues as homoerotic or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, homosexual.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So he gets.
He's like, I never really.
Until they explain, oh, you're just afraid of tight spaces. Like, I'm not afraid.
So.
But I'm gonna go sleep up in the truck.
Question. The layer looks decently big.
I know, right?
And he goes into a truck that he can barely fit in laying down. He does open the window.
Because he is claustrophobic, as it turns out.
Yep. So he's trying to sleep, but Danny leaves the sewer.
Because the turtles find Danny at the place, and basically they find out that Splinter has been captured. April learns that Danny ran away from home. Danny is given a sketch of Leo by April.
Yep.
Hey, Steve. Where's Steve at?
He's in the house.
Oh, he is? I just brought the scrambler over here for him to fix, so.
Alright.
Alright, thanks.
Yep.
Rude.
No, that's fine.
I'm joking. It's not like he didn't know.
Yeah. So yeah, they prepare for the next day to rumbly.
Danny leaves in the middle of the night to go back to the foot den.
Yep.
And he's followed by Casey, who spots him leaving.
Yep. So Casey follows and goes to once again the coolest little lair ever.
So Casey manages to ambush one of the foot soldiers and steal
Well,
his outfit.
how hard could it be? It's probably an 18-year-old or something that he quickly just grabbed and punched in the face and took his clothes.
It's like barely minimal actual ninja training.
Yep.
Although they did kick the turtle's ass, so.
Numbers.
And ambush, yeah.
Yep. So the Shredder sees Danny and asks him, "Where have you been?" "Nowhere."
The Shredder knows he's hiding something. Fishes out the picture of Leo,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, okay, back. We gotta prepare.
Yep.
Go after him.
Mm-hmm.
So they go back to the lair. So the foot soldiers go back to the lair to deal with the turtles, while Casey and Danny decide, hey, we got to get out of here with Splinter while everybody's distracted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
It doesn't quite go very well as
Yeah.
Tatsu tries to stop him, but so he and Casey get into a fight.
Like Tatsu.
Tatsu is strong.
Yes.
And he was dominating the entire fight despite what Casey's saying.
Yeah.
But then Casey gets his hands on a golf club.
Casey's not very good at hand-to-hand combat. He's good with using items, weaponry too.
Of course, he takes Tatsu by surprise, hits him once to incapacitate him, and then hits him again to knock him out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then he basically calls into question for all the kids there as to whether or not this is really a family or not.
Yeah. You call that family? You call this family?
Basically,
It was like, I don't got time for this shit.
trying to open all the kids' eyes. It's like, hey, these aren't your family. They're trying to manipulate you.
Mhm.
They're trying to use you. They don't actually care about you.
Yeah.
Let's get the rat out of here.
He's like,
Also, there's a talking rat. Okay, that's a bit of a surprise, but whatever.
yep. for Casey.
I mean, I just talked to four humanoid turtles. This is just a slightly more surprise, but hey.
Yep, pretty much.
So the Foot Clan arrive at the turtles' lair, and they get their asses whooped
Yep.
because they no longer have the element of surprise.
Mhm. The turtles definitely have the element of surprise.
The turtles have been preparing, so they.
They pretty much open up a valve in the sewer to make the steam come out.
And then while all the ninjas are disoriented, they swoop in and take out as many as they can. Fight leads up into the street, and then they get to the rooftop and have a face-off with the Shredder.
Shredder pretty much dominates this entire fight.
Absolutely, like the turtles have no chance.
The funny part is where, like, they actually huddle up. It's okay. How did we start to lose here?
It's at about this point that Casey, Splinter, and the rest of the kids show up, and they get a good look at just how quickly the Foot Clan have fallen to 4 turtles.
Yep. And they get, like, all right. Casey goes, well, looks like I gotta get up there and help. And then he just tries to look around and Splinter's gone.
Splinter's gone. He spots some Foots trying to get up fire escape. So he uses a garbage truck to knock him away.
Yep. And then, okay, the Shredder tricks the turtles by holding Leonardo hostage because he dominated him and he has.
Turtles toss their weapons away, and he's like, "Fools! The 3 of you could have taken me."
Yep, and.
But now I'm gonna defeat you because of your pitiful niceness.
Yes.
And then Splinter makes his presence known.
And he tells a story about pretty much him being Oroku Saki, the man who murdered his.
Yeah, we kind of gloss over the fact that while talking with Danny, Splinter revealed his backstory as the pet rat of a member of the Japanese Foot Clan who had been a rival of Oroku Saki and who had fallen in love with a woman that both of them had fought over. The woman convinced Hamato Yoshi,
Yeah.
Splinter's owner to just leave Japan and just leave the foot behind.
Yes.
And Orokosaki didn't take that little victory lying down.
He wanted the woman.
He wanted the woman, but he wanted her dead even more.
Yeah.
Kills her and kills Hamada Yoshi, and then gets attacked by
Splinter,
by the rat, and cuts off part of his ear before leaving.
Okay, look. Why would he just aim for a small rat's ear? It's a rat.
It's a rat. It's not like the rat's gonna tell on him.
Yeah.
He probably did it because he didn't want to dirty his hands killing a rat. Better to just kind of scare it off.
Yeah.
Not aware that it was going to mutate into a humanoid and teach 4 turtles how to fight as ninjas.
Good point.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't have expected that.
Nope, me neither. So now they're on the rooftop. Splinter, disrespecting,
Just goading Shredder into attacking him because it's like, hey, I know who you are. I know what your past is.
So apparently,
Shredder,
one of Michelangelo's nunchucks landed on the
part of one of the rungs of the fire escape.
Yep, and Shredder comes with his
Naginata.
Yep, and
tries to stab Splinter. Splinter uses the nunchuck to
pretty much suplex him over the edge to have him hang on. And he's pretty much telling you, well, you die, you will not die with honor. And he chucks.
Shredder tries to kill Splinter by tossing a knife at him, which causes Splinter to let go of the nunchuck, causing Shredder to fall into the garbage truck, which Casey then casually turns
There's
on.
oops. And we just see the helmet get smashed.
The cops show up. Chuck and the news crew show up, learn that April is alive and well, and Danny's okay.
And
Danny and Chuck have a good reunion.
And then they pretty much, Danny goes, "It's Dan now, Dad."
Okay.
All right, Dan? Oh, okay, fine. And April gets her job back, and
$50 that Danny owed her.
Yep.
She's confused though because she wasn't even aware she'd been robbed.
Yeah.
It's a nice scene, nice callback to his first transgression that we see.
Yes. One of the funnier scenes is here towards the end of the movie is Casey Jones is pretty much trying to, because the love interest between, or the sexual tension between Casey Jones and April when they're at the farmhouse is blatant. When we were kids, we had no idea what the hell was going on. Now that we're adults, we're like, oh, yep.
Yeah, there was a lot about this movie that I did not remember until this rewatching. A lot that I missed on my initial watchings as a kid. So I'm glad I got this opportunity to rewatch and see more of it with fresh eyes.
Yes. So pretty much Casey's not the brightest man. Like April's putting makeup on because she's got a.
They're trying to make herself look as good given the situation.
Yeah. Shut up! Just shut up and kiss me already. He's like, and then the turtles see, ooh, go Casey, woo. And then the turtles just start trying to make cool lines to say.
What should we say as part of celebration? Tubular? Nah. Radical? Nah.
Then Splinter approaches. I always liked Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
I made that funny. And that was...
Not really? I mean, Splinter, not gonna lie, that's not that funny?
No, it's not that funny at all. But I really enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, this is a very solid movie.
Yes, and the costumes for the turtles and the puppetry of Splinter, awesome.
Gotta give it up to the Jim Henson Creature Shop for that. They did a fantastic job.
Yes, and did they do Labyrinth?
Yeah. I mean, it's Jim Henson. They did the Muppets.
That's true.
Of course, they did Labyrinth. They did Dark Crystal.
Yeah, they did. They do very good work.
Yeah.
He passed away too soon.
Yeah.
But I believe we can bring this to an end.
Yeah. This movie was incredibly solid.
Yes.
Good comic book movie for
Oh
the time.
yes. Oh yes. Very.
Good. Well, I won't say that it was a good adaptation of the cartoon series, which I'm assuming that most kids going to see the movie were expecting it to be.
Yeah.
It's still really solid and very enjoyable. Well acted. Great special effects for what they did do with the costumes.
And
Good fight scenes.
oh yes.
I like the fact that the turtles don't actually defeat Shredder. They win, but they don't defeat Shredder. It's Shredder's own hubris and
Yes, his
overconfidence and ego.
Yes, he stroked his ego too much, and that was his downfall.
Oh, yes.
But I've been Tank. That's my guest ProtoMet, and well, tonight I gotta watch Hell on a Cell. So peace out, y'all.
See
See ya.